Ready, bro? You ready, Franz?
Fucking
ready?
This, bro. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Yankees Avenue Show on the Yankees Avenue YouTube channel. As usual, I'm Patrick Hennessy. That's Dan Rourke. Dan, how we doing? It is episode 100.
I'm doing amazing, dude. One, because I get to see you in person. Two, episode 100, bro. Who thought we'd be here? I know, I personally, I did think we'd be here, and we're here. We're celebrating it. Not going to celebrate the Yankees too much, but it's a celebration to us, I feel like, and we're going to have a lot of good discussion today.
Yeah, not only is it episode 100, though, it's also the exact 1-year anniversary of the start of the show, too.
It's crazy how it worked out. No, but yo, we're hyped. We're in studio. We're ready to go. Hope you guys are all pumped for this as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, bro. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm good. Like, it just feels so weird being here in person because we're always, like, on Zoom, whatever, and now it's like we're next to each other. And I hope you guys enjoy it, too, because if you do, it's like something we'll do more in the future as well.
And we're all dressed up, bro, ready to go. We
Yankees
were talking last night what we were going to wear, and Pat was like laying out his entire outfit for me. As for my wardrobe today, I stopped at a place called Cheap Maggie's on the way. $40 polo. Hope I'm looking clean.
Looks great.
Yeah, bro, I'm ready to go. Got some cologne on. I showered this morning. Got 2 coffees in me.
Yeah, great. Okay.
Let's do it, bro.
So,
yeah, great. I get it.
this show might end in a brawl. We'll talk about it. We have a lot of Yankee topics to talk about today. We have a lot of personal stuff to talk about today, too. Maybe. We'll see.
Yo, so we're thinking, I mean, you guys probably already spoiled by this, you see on the graphic, but topic 4, we're going to get into the history of Pat and Dan.
We are.
This show, the state of the show, what's to come in the future.
Yeah.
So a little more out of the box this show might be, but don't worry. We're really going to get into the Yankees and what's going on in the first half.
Before that, though, want to give a huge shout-out to our sponsor, FOCO. Use code Yankees Avenue at checkout. Save 15% off your purchase. Dan, we love FOCO, don't we?
We do love FOCO, and also I do have my amazing and very lucky shirt that I'm going to show off later, which I almost wore today.
We'll show you guys some stuff later. But, yo, let's get into topic number 1. We got to talk about this weekend because the Yankees got swept by the Boston Red Sox. Little bit unfortunate, I will say. The season, last episode, we kind of came to terms with the fact that the season is over, right? And now, after getting swept by the Red Sox, it feels like it even more. Because I'm gonna read you some information here. Please. So now we are 9 games back of a wild card spot. Okay, don't know the division because I don't really keep track of it, but I think it's like 17.5, something wild. And the Yankees have lost 8 straight games for the first time in our life since 1995. Is that true?
Yes, that's
There's
true.
no way that's true.
As long as we've been alive, the Yankees have never lost 8 straight games until now.
Well, that's insane. And also, let me tell you this. Fangraphs. I like going to Fangraphs for odds sometimes. The Yankees now have a 0.0% odds of winning the World Series.
Which, let me just say, while obviously that is true, we're not going to win the World Series this year, that technically doesn't make any sense.
No, at this point, like, you can't have 0% odds.
No, you can't, because we're technically still able to get in, which means there's a chance. So even if we're 0.1%, that make a little more sense. But yeah, we know we're not winning the World Series. Swept by Boston. 9 back in the wild card now, dude.
Bro, it's just weird because it's like you look at the state of the Yankees, right? And I feel like coming out of the trade deadline, like we knew this team wasn't going to make a run, right? Like truthfully, deep down inside, we knew they weren't, but there was always that slim hope. And now the fact that it's just done, like I look at the standings and the fact that the Red Sox are above us, I'm pretty sure the Mariners are above us, we're tied with the Angels. Like it just puts it into perspective how much of an actual failure this season is for the Yankees. And also, their record, bro. Like, we talked about it so often, like, oh, they're 5 games above 500, so, like, we feel cool, but then once they get, like, under, now they're, like, 4 games under 500.
Bro. It's not just hovering around.
And we're looking at the potential where it could be the Yankees' first season under 500 of our lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, we're headed there. I think it probably will be, and it's really it's an eye-opener when, you know, MLB puts out, like, the postseason race graphics. We're not even in that anymore, dude. We're not even part of the conversation. 4 games under, not a spot I'd ever thought we'd be in. And, you know, kind of mentioned it last week, and I'll say it again. I'm very torn on what I want to happen because part of me feels like, bottoming out to the max degree might be what's best for this team. Because, hell, maybe that could lead to Brian Cashman going. We know Boone, he's probably out the door. And just in general, as Yankee fans, we kind of all agree, we want to see them clean house. Does bottoming out, is that increase the likelihood of that happening, or is a no shot possible? Because on the flip side, dude, I do want to maintain the 30 straight years of having an above 500 record. Because, like, in a way, I do take pride in that. Like, we've never seen a losing season.
But at what cost?
Right. So I'll admit, like, I'm a little flip-floppy on of what I actually want to happen, but I think I'm starting to lean more and more towards, dude, like, we're the bad news Bears right now, so I think we're headed for this regardless. But I think I'm headed towards, like, I want us to bottom out completely. Like, we may finish the season 10 or 15 games under 500, and if that's the case, if you're Hal Steinbrenner, how do you, especially after going on the K show a couple months ago and saying, we don't make the playoffs, that was what the expectation was. If we don't make the playoffs, I'm going to ask some hard questions. Well, now you're going to finish in last place, potentially like 10 games, 15 games under. What happens then?
Well, yeah, but that's why I look at it, and especially if the Yankees finish under 500. Like right now, let's say the season ended today, I can't see any reasoning behind, first of all, Boone's gone. Like, I think I'm in the boat now where just even hearing, like, his post-game interviews and just, like, talking about the current state of the team, Aaron Boone is not coming back as Yankees manager in 2024.
No.
They would need some insane run to happen where they end up making the playoffs or whatever. But as of right now, he's not coming back.
So I don't think he may get fired in season. That's not going to happen.
I think
Yankees don't really do that in the post-George era, but yeah.
I think it's too late for that. But then also it's like you look higher up, and I feel like we talk about Brian Cashman so often, but I think his job will forever be secure, even though it shouldn't be. Like, I think if we're looking in the grand scheme of things, I think Cashman, like we always say, is more of the problem than Boone, but Boone is going to be the scapegoat this year. However, I think if 2024 is as much as a disaster as 2023, then I think Cashman has to become the scapegoat. But I think for now, Boone will be that guy.
We can't even use the word scapegoat, though, because it's like as much as you have the issue with Boone, he's who the scapegoat is.
Sure.
I mean, and also you can go back to Dylan Lawson, who I was happy when he got fired, and I was pumped when they brought in Sean Casey. But even him, like, that's another example of a scapegoat. Cashman, though, he's not, because he is the one who's responsible for this. and if you're Hal Steinbrenner, like, this is really going to show this offseason like a true test of how much you do actually care. And not just about, okay, if you bring Cashman back, that means you obviously don't give a crap. Like, everything has to be on the table this offseason.
Yeah.
As far as changing the landscape of the team, doing a whole kind of like, you really got to reset this entire franchise. And whether that means you're getting rid of the GM, getting somebody fresh in, or you give Cashman direct orders like, yo, this clearly is not working out. We need to change. Because that's one thing that's so probably the most frustrating thing about this Yankees core since 2017. It's the arrogance and the refusal to change their way of doing things. I mean, you look at, even before this year, constantly, playoffs, we get bounced, we get exposed by dominant right-handed pitching, and the Yankees don't change anything. They still run out the same type of hitters, right-handed, power-hitting guys that strike out a lot, and they get proven time and time again what they're doing isn't working out, but they continue to run it back. You can't run it back again next year. So even if you bring Cashman back, which would be dumb, you can't just send the same team back out there again.
I know, and I think it's just weird now because we're at a really strange point in the season where it feels like the Yankees have nothing to lose, and I think that brings up something that me and you talk about in private sometimes, and it's like, you got to call up some prospects. Like, bring some life into this team, and you look at the prospects who the Yankees currently have in the minor leagues, and even if they're not, quote-unquote, ready to come up, what do you have to lose by bringing them up now, right? Because you could make the argument Volpe wasn't ready when he first came up,
right,
and he got an ample amount of time at the big league level to kind of get his feet wet. If you could give Pereira, Wells, Peraza to finally get maybe like a consistent shot, Dominguez maybe, I don't know. But if you could call up these guys and give them like a little taste of MLB experience, especially if they're going to be a part of your roster going into 2024. Pereira, especially, if he's going to be like your starting left fielder to start next year, why not call them up now? Get, I don't know, 1 month of big league experience, so then maybe that could help them adjust to the big league level to start 2024, because right now, you have nothing to lose.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's similar to the end of 2016. That was a lost season, and then you bring the youth up, and it injects like a spark into the rest of the season, a season that we really, like, outside of the people that work and follow the team, like, if I was just like a casual fan right now and didn't have anything involved in this, why would I turn this on? You bring the kids up, all of a sudden, okay, there's at least some reason to turn on the YES Network and watch. As for them not being ready, I mean, you look at the one guy I would say is kind of a wild card, maybe a little bit. I mean, Austin Wells, he's out of the three, Peraza, Pereira, and Wells, he has technically the worst stats of them all, but even so, he's hitting for power. He has a 780 OPS.
Yeah.
You bring him up, dude. I mean, the other day on Sunday, he had 7 RBIs in one game, right?
Yeah.
I saw a tweet. You know how many RBIs Yankees catchers have, period, since the All-Star break?
Can I guess? 12.
7. And
Okay,
Austin Wells had 7 RBIs in one game yesterday. There's no harm in bringing him up and just seeing what he's got, get him a taste of big league experience, and they'll probably only benefit in the future. But the main guy, dude, you have to bring up Everson Pereira. And we're dropping this on Tuesday, so for all I know, the news may be out that he is getting called up because some expect it to. I'd like to think so. Dude is raking, man. Has destroyed in Double-A, got promoted to Triple-A, hitting even better there. Overall in the season, he's batting like 300, OPS around 900. He plays good defense. Like, why wouldn't you call him up? There's not, like you said, there's absolutely nothing to lose. And it's a shame, even though I think it is going to happen, that it didn't happen sooner.
Yes.
I mean, especially you go back to reports that the reason why the Yankees didn't get a left fielder is because they had Pereira. Well, we're going almost into September now, and he's still in AAA. Peraza, they're wasting away. I mean, I'm doing a video right now talking about what has led to the Yankees downfall since 2017. And a lot of it, obviously, is the handling of the prospects and just the countless guys that they've hung on to or called up, sent down, and just played with their, whether it's their service time or just their development as a whole. And then they eventually lead to their demise, them getting DFA'd, them getting traded away, or them just not being good anymore, period. Dude, with Peraza, like, what are we doing with him?
Well, that's
you have to get him up now, like, especially him.
Bro, I think Peraza is slowly becoming the next Andujar, and I think it's something that we touched on previously, but it's like, how many times are you going to call the guy up and send him back down? And, bro, it's like a Florial situation.
Yeah.
Like, the Yankees just can keep consistently doing this with prospects, and it kills their value entirely. But I think also one thing that you said is super important is it gives you a reason to want to watch the Yankees.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm going to be honest. I didn't watch the Yankees this weekend. I watched Sunday's game.
Yeah, because you're at a Morgan Wallen concert.
Okay, we could talk about that for a second. I was at Fenway Park on Friday night when the Red Sox were in Yankee Stadium spanking the Yankees. I'm going to give a quick review of Boston, of the city of Massachusetts.
City of Boston. Actually, no, I've been once. I went to Salem for some Halloween shit, but
I wasn't impressed at all. Like, I would say Fenway Park is cool. It was my first time ever at Fenway Park. Shout out to Morgan Wallen, by the way. I'm getting into my country
Pat's in his
vibes.
country vibe. If you go on Pat's Twitter right now on Instagram, take a look at his profile picture, which looks good. Like, you have a nice smile on and everything. But you're going full hick now. I feel like ever since a month ago, bro, where you wore that deer hunting hat and that green shirt, and I said something about it.
A lot of comments said stuff about it, too.
You're fully embracing your southern side that I didn't know you had.
But let me say, Fenway Park, it's quirky. They have, like, a lot of stuff going on. However, like, the area itself, they have a lot of cool bars, whatever. The area might be nicer than Yankee Stadium. The accessibility of it, bro, it took me an hour to get an Uber out of Fenway Park.
Really?
An hour.
I mean, I'm not going to back Fenway here at all, but Yankee Stadium, it's pretty tough to get an Uber as well. I mean, I've waited outside.
Yeah, but Yankee Stadium has, like, a lot of parking lots and stuff. Fenway doesn't have that. And I'm not pissing on Fenway, but I kind of am.
Fenway, dude.
It was so cool to be on the field, though.
You were on the field?
Yeah, I had, like, field level
Oh, it was like
tickets.
a standing room ticket or something?
No, I had a seat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, why don't you let them know how much you pay for these Morgan Wall? You might as well go to a Taylor Swift concert. A lot of money.
So, what else you want to talk about the Yankees?
Well, dude, here's just the way I see things. Call up the kids. Give us a reason to watch the rest of the year. I'll see you in 2024.
I think that's fair. I think it's fair.
Topic. Yo, what's up, guys? Before we continue on, I want to give a huge shout-out to the GameDay for letting us host episode 100 of the Yankees Avenue Show here. They hooked us up big time, so do them a favor. Check them out on all their socials. They really hooked us up, like I said. And, yeah, enjoy the show.
One positive aspect of the Yankees that maybe wasn't so positive this weekend, Gerrit Cole. And he had his first clunker in a while, which I think at this point, like, I hate saying this with guys, but he was kind of due, right? Like, he's been so awesome all season. He was due for a clunker at this point. He gave up, 6 earned runs against the Red Sox on Saturday, right?
Yeah, so his ERA is now above 3, which sucks because he may have not thrown away his Cy Young case, but he's now, it's not runaway anymore.
I would still say he's the favorite.
He's the favorite, but it's not like, he was starting to run away with him when his ERA was getting into the 2.6s.
Yeah.
The strikeout numbers still lead and all, but now it's a conversation again about who could win. You have Evaldi, Frember Valdez, probably somebody else as well.
Yeah, but the main takeaway I do want to take away from Cole's start, which I don't even think was his performance, I think was his comments afterwards. I'm going to pull up this quote here. He said he doesn't recall ever experiencing anything like this before in his career, bro, which I think is just wild to say because it brings up the conversation of the Yankees obviously signed Gerrit Cole to this major contract, 9 years, $324 million?
Yeah, 324.
I'm just nice like that. And
something you should know.
Okay, whatever. Do you know the exact number of Aaron Judge's contract?
9,360.
Okay, cool. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah, he has an opt-out. He has an opt-out in his contract after the 2024 season, so after next season. And the Yankees do have an option to decline it and add like an extra year at the end of it, whatever. But it brings up the question now because I had it in my mind for so long, especially when they first signed the contract, that there was no way he was taking this opt-out, especially like, 4 years deep into the contract? Like, he was probably going to be like on the downhill a little bit. But now, I think especially if the Yankees don't turn around next season or show any signs of turning it around, it's all but certain he's opting out. Now, I would assume that the Yankees would tack on that extra year and kind of like still keep him.
Right.
But I think it's almost all but certain he's going to opt out and just test the waters.
Yeah, I think definitely the Yankees, if there were a conversation of Cole opting out, they would just tack on that 10th year, and then it would become just a $36 million option, for that 10th season. I think it's more of a conversation of just where Gerrit Cole's at in this 4 years into his deal or 5 years into the deal, whatever it is. How happy is he with his time as a Yankee? Now, of course, he thought he probably would have a World Series by now. Fans thought that as well. But also, I don't think it's one of those things like the Yankee. Like if he ends up opting out, it's going to be because he knows he can get more money. So what would be left on his deal would be, let's see, after next year it'd be 5 years, right?
Yep.
So he'll have 4 years at $36 million a year, so $144 million, and he'll be 34 years old.
Yeah.
You look at the free agent starting pitchers who are on the market that offseason. You'll have Shane Bieber, you'll have Walker Buehler, you'll have Corbin Burns. Those are kind of the big name guys. Nathan Eovaldi as well, but who knows what he'll be by
That's
then.
kind of a star-studded starting pitching class.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, there are some other big names in there. Like, it's not an obvious situation. You also have to factor in, like, the season Cole may have next year. I mean, we still anticipate he'll be in his prime, but how big is the market going to be for starting pitchers when he may opt out? So I think it comes down to, like, him just thinking he'll get more money. That's why he would opt out. Not a matter of, oh, the Yankees suck, I need to go somewhere I can win. In the end, the Yankees are always going to compete. Like, they're never going to bottom out. It's not like they're going to – and that's why I do think come next season, the Yankees will still be a half-decent team, one that's technically putting their best foot forward, in quotes, to try to, like, be a competitive team. So that said, like, there's still playoff aspirations next year.
I don't think Gerrit Cole signed with the New York Yankees. Like, listen, we know he grew up a Yankee fan today, tomorrow, forever, whatever the sign was. But I don't think he came here because he grew up a Yankee fan. I think he came here because he wanted to win a World Series, and he knew that the Yankees were going to give him a great chance to do so, especially at the time he signed. I mean, it was after 2019. Obviously, they had lost that close series to the Astros. But, like, the Yankees were still on the way up. And I think ever since Cole has come, it's been downhill just about every single year. I mean, sure, the first half of 2022, but you have to think that he is, I don't want to say regretting signing the contract with the Yankees, but I would say his tenure so far definitely hasn't been what he expected it was going to be.
Definitely not. No, absolutely. But also, I think he was concerned with, he wanted to be a Yankee. I think he still wants to build his legacy as a Yankee. I mean, you go back to last year when he broke Ron Guidry's strikeout record, like, that meant something to him. He was hyped about that. Sure. And also, if you go to opt out, I mean, how clear of winners are there, like World Series winners are there in baseball? I mean, we thought we were going to be one when he signed with us. And like, okay, we're going to the World Series, and then what happens? I mean, it's not like anything's guaranteed. So if he were to opt out, you still don't know what the future's in store. Whereas if you stay with us, which once again, the Yankees are just going to tack on that 10th year. So it's something I'm really all that worried about anyways. But he can build a legacy as a Yankee as one of the greatest pitchers in our franchise history, which that definitely means something to him, I think. Yeah, and also, it's not like he's not getting like screwed over money-wise. I mean, he's going to end up having a $350 million contract.
Yeah, but bro, even if he retired tomorrow and didn't get another dollar, like, him and his kids are set for life. But I think still, like, we know Gerrit Cole, and, like, even if you watch that post-game press conference where he said that, like, he's defeated, bro. Like,
yeah, they all are.
And no, but I think guys like Cole, we talk about this, there's some guys that take losing to heart more than others, and Cole is very clearly one of those guys. Like, he's a perfectionist. Gerrit Cole is that guy. Like, as much as, like, you're like, oh, like, you like Cole, how I like Judge. Yes, because I think what we see from Cole is so unique in the way of there's very few Yankees where we get those vibes from. Like, how often after a big loss is someone going to, like, have a post-game press conference and be that sad and be that depressed? Like, it makes me feel good. It goes back to the smiling thing that we always talk about. Like, after a bad loss, after getting swept by the Red Sox, losing 8 straight games, would you rather see the Yankees smiling, or would you rather see them looking like they want to cry like Gerrit Cole? And that's what I respect so much about him.
Cole, it definitely bothers him more than anybody. I agree with you on that. I still think he wants to build a legacy as a Yankee. I truly believe that. And I think also if he were to opt out, like, you don't know what's guaranteed winning-wise.
But that ball isn't in his court. At the end of the day, he can only do so much. And I think that's why it's
that's with any team, though. In the end, he's still going to pitch only every 5 days.
Yes, but he can go to another team where there's a better team around him, where he has a better opportunity to... Bro, if you would have told Gerrit Cole when he signed that contract that by 2023, he wouldn't have made at least one World Series start...
Yeah, if you were to tell us that, bro, we'd be like,
but that's what I'm
hell?
saying.
Yeah.
Cole was supposed to be the white whale, the final piece of the puzzle. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I think, especially by the end of next season, but Cole doesn't really have an option.
No, here's the thing. I think it's much more of a conversation of how disappointed is Gerrit Cole with the way his Yankee tenure has gone so far, and it's incredibly, without question.
Yes.
He's going to be a Yankee because there's no way, no chance, barring him having like a bad year next year, why wouldn't the Yankees want to have him back? And if he did have a bad year, he's not going to opt out. So it's a very easy fix. You just tack on that extra 10th year for $36 million, and he'll be a Yankee for life. And then you just hope the next 5 years go a lot better than the first 5 have gone.
It's just sad, bro.
It's been horrible, dude. It's been horrible.
Yeah, I got to say one thing into the close-up shot here, and I hope that you can agree with this. And, like, finally, Gerrit Cole might be the most adorable human being alive.
Oh my
and
God,
bro.
It
goes back to the post game press conference. Like it's wholesome. He's a wholesome man, and it goes, bro.
You know he's married though. There's nothing you can do about that.
Well, I'm not looking to do anything about it.
It's starting to sound like you are, bro.
He's adorable in the sense of, like, we said it, bro. Like, oh, Dan's having a bad day. You know what I want to do? I want to go get a hug from Gerrit Cole. Like, what other shoulder would you want to cry on?
Dan's having a bad day. He wants to see Gerrit Cole shove and lead the Yankees to a victory over. It's not a diss over his performance last weekend. I'm not saying that.
We talked about this. You show up to his house on a cold, rainy night. You're sitting on his couch. Hey, Dan, I just made you some Swiss Miss with some mini marshmallows.
That would be really nice. No,
That's what I'm saying.
I'd enjoy that. I look at it more as he's a really, really good pitcher, the best in baseball. That's my way of complimenting. I have no problem with you calling him adorable. You're more prone to do so than I am.
Yeah, because
I have a different way of complimenting the guy.
Because every single interview, it gets more wholesome. Like, this season, it's a different Gerrit Cole. He's a wholesome guy. I don't know if it's the haircut. I don't know if it's the little dad weight that he's gained. I don't know, but he's become a very dad. He's a dad, bro.
You're way more about the wholesome stuff than I am. And by the way, he's losing the dad weight. Did you notice how skinny he looked in his interview yesterday?
After someone roasted him on Twitter.
Yeah, well, Carabas posted it, and I saw his face. I'm like, oh, shit, are we about to get the long hair back, too? He looked like 2020 Gerrit Cole.
Yeah.
But, yeah, dude, that stuff's all well and good. I think we look for different things in our Yankees, dude.
That's not true because you have an Aaron Judge obsession. So why can't Cole be my obsession?
I don't even have an Aaron Judge obsession, per se. I mean, now I already won that battle, so it's kind of in the past. I had an Aaron Judge obsession, and I went to war for him when people weren't giving him the respect he deserves. Now it's like...
Oh, like when I said to trade him.
The only person I have to defend him now against is you, which is fucking crazy.
No. Can we clear that up really quick? Because I feel like every episode this is becoming more and more of a narrative. Oh, Pat hates Aaron Judge. I consistently say on a very consistent basis, Judge and Cole are the only two Yankees right now that deserve any sort of respect.
You've said before just Cole. You said
well, no,
Cole. And when you're really, so here's the thing. If we were filming this right after the Yankees got swept by Boston, like when Pat's in the heat of the moment, he will diss Judge. You guys know, and it's okay. Listen, we all have our flaws. I'm sure I have some as well. But with Judge, you will go out and say it's more of his fault than just like, oh, he missed time. It's like Judge hasn't showed up this year.
No, because
here we go, everybody.
That's the truth. Aaron Judge, while he's having a great season, he hasn't been there.
Pat, because he got hurt. Are we going to do this again?
I'm not saying it's his fault.
I thought you just said you didn't want to do this. And
I don't want to do this, but now you bring it up. Like, I can't hold Judge in the same regard as I did last year because he hasn't been there. So, like, and compliment on Judge. What he's doing right now, while still hurting at like 70%, is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, his production level, it feels like it's barely skipped a beat.
And any reason he hasn't been there for the team was not his fault this year.
I'm not saying it was his fault, but like, it's like, okay, let's say, oh, this TV falls down and breaks right now. Is that any of our faults? No, but it happened. It's not going to happen, trust me. But you know what I mean? It's not our fault.
I think it's a very interesting take by you, Pat. I just disagree.
Okay, fine. You want to move on?
Yeah, let's do some FOCO, bro.
Before we get into topic number 3, want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, FOCO, F-O-C-O. Dan brought his beautiful shirt.
I'm smelling it because I originally was wearing this today, and I put loads of cologne on it. It smells
Can I smell it?
Good. Yeah, take a whiff, bro. Does that smell good or what?
It smells like Febreze.
Oh, stop it.
There's no way you...
Listen.
Did you spray that with Febreze?
No, I sprayed it with some stuff called like Ocean Surf from B&B Variety Store in Seaside Park, New Jersey. Yo, I didn't wear this today only because I wear this pretty often, and Pat, it was in my back of my head that he was going to roast me for wearing the same outfit all the time, which you do. So like I said, I went to a place called Cheap Maggie's and bought this. But guys, do not be fooled. This is gorgeous, and you can get yourself one at FOCO, code Yankees Avenue, 15% off.
Yep.
Or football season's coming up, bruh. I'm watching the Jets. I saw Zach Wilson make a nice-ass play the other day in their preseason game.
What?
Zach Wilson.
Their backup
QB2.
quarterback?
Yeah, Rodgers ain't playing yet. He's doing the clipboard stuff preseason. But anyways, with that said, football season's coming up, so if you're not about the Yankees right now, you can be about a football team. Jets, Giants, Bills. Get yourself something nice. Why are you looking at me funky? You don't like football?
No, this is the Yankees Avenue Show. Go out and buy an Aaron Judge bobblehead. Bro, the Yankees are making the playoffs this year, aren't they? Oh, I'm sorry.
I mean, listen, dude, I have my Yankees stuff all decked out. You know that. But you got to plan for the future.
Yeah, no, FOCO does have everything. So make sure you guys check them out. We showed you guys so many products all the time. Maybe pop some on the screen. I don't know.
Yo, and by the way, We should give a little, like a legit shout out to Foco.
Yes.
Because the fact that we've been doing this for a year now, I'm a little bit sentimental in the fact that they're our first sponsor. We've been with them for quite some time now. I mean, it's probably been about 6 months. And, like, they've done us good. You guys have been buying a hell of a lot of crap from them. So, like, celebration for Foco.
No, I would say as much as this is, like, this episode, we're kind of, like, going business as usual. Like, and we're going to get into, like, more of a personal side of things. But, like, just as far as Foco goes, like, they've been our one and only sponsor for almost a year now.
Yeah.
They're single-handedly powering the Yankees Avenue Show. So major shout out to them.
Other sponsors want to come on. We're like, fuck you.
No.
Foco,
exactly.
Bro. What the hell?
But also the thing with Foco is they treat us so well. Like, we get merch after merch after merch, and we love showing it to you guys. So make sure you check
One of
them
us
out,
gets
support
merch
them.
drops more frequently than the other, but
That's just not. We get the
where
same.
are my shorts? Where are my shorts?
Okay.
Where are my shorts?
I didn't ask. I never asked. But yeah, you want to get into topic number 3?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. This was
this was
is
cool.
something I've been wanting for a long time, if you remember.
I'm going to be honest. This is the part of the show now where I think the vibes are completely changing. Because for the most part, we're kind of done talking about, like, say to the Yankees, Gerrit Cole's adorable, cute.
It's no, like, secret that I am, like, almost bored with the conversation of where the Yankees are right now. Because until they call the kids up, at least, this is where they at. Like, the season is over, and we know that. Like, I'm all ahead into 2024, but we're stuck in 2023.
And we're stuck talking about it. That's why, if you guys were looking for, like, a more positive vibes, now's the time to join the show. Because Aaron Judge is officially a Jordan Brand athlete. He's got the pink going on. It's absolutely fucking sick.
Oh, so you think so?
Well, sorry, Christina.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's awesome. I love the pink. He has the shoes. I'm pretty sure they're, like, releasing them as sneakers. My one complaint about, like, Judge signing to Jordan and, like, what we've seen so far, and maybe we'll get it eventually, I want a Judge-branded sneaker.
Oh, the real one, not one that's pink. That's my only complaint.
Well, no. It doesn't even have to be the pink, but nothing about that double bubble cleat sneaker is Judge-branded at all. Like, you wouldn't know that that's an Aaron Judge shoe. Like, I have the, you know, like the Jeter 11s where it has, like, respect and it has, like, the 2. Like, that's, no.
Oh.
But
there's another shoe I'm thinking of then.
It's very clearly like a Jeter-branded sneaker. I feel like eventually we're going to need, like, some Judge-branded Jordan merch.
First of all, I'm pumped Judge is with Jordan. This is something I've been wanting for years. You go back to, like, my old Instagram account when I was, like, really, like, blowing everything that Judge did. I'm like, he's going to sign with Jordan. It's bound to happen. Jeter did it. There's barely any Jordan athletes in baseball. I think there's only 5. He became the 5th now, I believe.
Can you name the other 4?
Mookie's one of them. Aaron Hicks was one of them at a time.
That's a really weird
sign. Yeah, I remember that because Hicks and Mookie were on R2C2 at the time and they were talking about it. But anyways, it just made total sense that Judge would become a Jordan athlete, and he's been wearing Jordan stuff for actually dating back to last year. He was wearing like the batting gloves, arm sleeves. This year he started to wear the cleats, and it was finally announced last week. But that I'm pumped about. I've been wanting it for a long time. The cleats though, dude, I was not a fan. Like, I don't want to get all, like, macho man on you, but, like, pink cleats, I mean, I'm not exactly sure that's what I would anticipate.
What's wrong with pink?
Okay, sure. We can say what's wrong with pink to be all, you know, civil and nice. But in the end.
What do you mean to be all civil and nice?
No, it's great. Yeah, pink cleats that's phenomenal, dude.
Bro, it's cool.
They look
You're
great.
telling me, no.
That's not what I would imagine Judge's. And it's not. There's more to come. But, like, if you were to tell me that's his signature shoe, like, say that was the shoe, right? Like, he's not going to release another one for 5 fucking years. Right? Tell me you're not, like, if that's the shoe.
No, but that's why I said it's disappointing for now, but I'm assuming we have, like, a Judge-branded shoe that's, like, navy and white coming soon. But I don't think pink is the Bro, pink is a cool color.
Oh, pink, yeah. Okay, pink is fucking great,
Maybe you just don't have the confidence to rock it. Maybe that's what the issue is.
No, I've worn pink before. Like this, I've worn actually Polo-branded pink shirts before. But it's more so a matter of I thought Judge would come out with something, and I still anticipate that he will. Something that looks, like, really clean, classy, but also, has a signature mark on it. I don't associate that shoe, even with the whole double bubble thing, as being, like, a Judge, kind of similar to what you said, as being a Judge shoe. I want something that clearly represents with, like, dude, like, I don't know if there's, like, some logo you could do with, like, or even if you just put 99 in there in the Yankee letter font. I think that would look sick on a navy shoe. Very similar, honestly, to the Jeter one. Like, I think Jeter had it down. Something similar to that. That isn't too. It's too flashy for me, I think, is what the issue is.
Okay, yeah, because like deep down inside we know this. Like, you're a boomer, and you hate like any fun in the game of baseball. But that's why I think this Judge thing,
I like fun when you're winning. No,
okay, no. I think that's fair.
No, that's
true.
Like
but that's not.
That's not what the deal is with the cleat, though. That's not why I don't like it. I just think it's not that nice of a cleat. That's just straight up what I'm saying. But
yeah, but also
I am kind of a boomer. I know that.
Like, bro, Judge has been passed around.
Don't talk about him.
No, he's been passed around at this point. He started off with what, Under Armour? And then didn't he go to Adidas?
So, yeah, he was Under Armour.
Was he with Nike at one point?
Well, no, but I mean, you could kind of associate now he's with Nike, with Jordan and all.
Well, sure. But this is his 3rd brand in 6 years.
Well, yeah, so he signed with Under Armour when he was drafted, which he wore through his rookie year. And then after that, he signed with Adidas. Now, I don't have anything to confirm this, but this has always been my theory. Judge signs with Adidas entering 18. He's with them for a couple years, all good, 18, 19. Then 2020, Fernando Tatis pops onto the scene. And he's like a real big shot. Like, that's when his name kind of really became something.
Sure.
Adidas signs him. And, bro, they are throwing him out there on every billboard possible, every poster possible. And they kind of just throw Judge to the side. And once
Judge
again,
was hurt in 2020.
I don't know the details. Okay, but he's still Aaron Judge. I mean,
Tatis took over in 2020.
Even in 2021, like, Judge was having a good year. But still, regardless, I mean, even you're going to showcase Tatis, showcasing Aaron Judge is probably also a pretty good idea. They pushed him to the side, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, mid-season 2021, he stops wearing Adidas stuff. So my guess is I think Judge has a little bit of beef there. And then we saw him wearing the New Balances, which I guess it's kind of like going back to what I said before, like putting Judge's stamp on a cleat. He would do that a lot. He customized them like crazy. I think do you know the dude who does it?
Yes, shout out to Delucia.
Yeah, and they were fire. I think they were amazing. That's more of, I'll put a picture of what I'm talking about here. Like, give me those vibes as much as possible to a clean and classy Jordan shoe with Judge's stamp on there, like a 99, or whether it's like the Judge Gravel or he used to do cool stuff like that.
Gravel?
Isn't that what it's called? A Judge Gravel that you.
It's a gavel.
Gavel? Oh, my bad.
It's a gavel.
My bad. But, because I want to buy it. Here's the thing. I'm not buying the pink shoe. I looked it up yesterday. If you could, you can't.
No, I'm sure they're going to release it eventually. But I think this conversation, like, the whole focal point of it is just, like, fun in the game of baseball. And I think, like, that's where we differ so much, because I love stuff like this. I love when, like, Judge shows, and sure, it's, like, cooler if the Yankees were winning, but, like, Judge showing up to Sunday's game in, like, all pink, like, I like that. And that's why I hate so much. Who is the biggest face in Major League Baseball right now?
Judge.
Shohei.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei, yes,
right?
yes.
He's signed to New Balance, and he has some of the most uninspiring merchandise. Have you ever seen
the commercial, dude?
Bro, have you seen the stuff that he's wearing in the commercial?
No, the commercial itself sucks.
Bro, everything about it. I'm sorry, like, maybe New Balance might want to sponsor the show today. I mean, at some point. But New Balance sucks. Like, when I think of New Balance, it's either like those cool, like, hipster sneakers, or does anyone in here have New Balance?
Nah, they're not hipster. No, I think New Balance is much more classy and low key.
No, it's not. It's like, it's either your 55-year-old dad wears them to come pick you up from middle school, or it's like some hipsters in Soho rocking like the dad ones.
I think it's much more the dad vibe. But dude, I think
and it's not
Shohei
like,
took a big L with that. But also, when Judge's New Balance cleats that he was wearing that was getting customized, I would deadass wear those as a shoe. I think those were fantastic. And by no means do I think, like, Judge wearing pink is stupid. I'm not against that. Like, that's not where my...
No, that's exactly what you said.
No, but not in terms of the conversation of, like, I don't want baseball to be fun. That's more so about keep the bat flips for when the moment calls for it. That's for, like, you know, the way the game is played today, I don't agree with everything. But the pink cleats, like, that's not why. I'm just saying, for Judge's signature shoe, I don't think it's that nice. It looks like bubblegum, which I know is a design, but...
Did you see Tatis's bat flip the other day, by the way?
Ugh.
What?
That was some... I mean, do you know what the moment was? Was it, like, was he down
I don't remember them all. I just
No,
saw
but here's what it probably was. He was probably up 8-0 in the fourth inning.
No, there's no way that was the case.
That's often what his bat flips are. And that's my... Just for those who are new viewers here, that's my thing with bat flips. I have no problem with them. I think one of the best moments in baseball history is Jose Bautista's bat flip, for example.
Sure.
And I also... People talk about the Yankees having no fun just because they're losing. Go back to last October, bro. Not really a bat flip, but Oswaldo Cabrera in ALDS Game 2 against the Guardians was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Was awesome. So, like, when the moment calls for it, like, when the energy provides it, like, hell yeah, bro, I'm all in. But sometimes, I don't know why I said sorry to myself, but sometimes, and you'll see this in the Little League World Series, bro, it's forced. Like, these kids are trying to bat flip. Now, every little strike, bro, I saw this little kid who, you know, chucking gas and all, but goddamn, it's the second inning. He strikes out this little, like, 5'2", 11-year-old, and he's screaming off the mound like he just won the lottery. I'm like, bro, it really is instilled on these kids now that this is how you're supposed to act. And that's fine. Like, listen, I'm not saying throw anybody in jail for this. You're allowed to do it. I'm just allowed to criticize it. I think it's a little bit much because the moment doesn't always call for it, and they force it.
Can I get canceled for, like, bashing the Little League World Series?
It doesn't hit the way it used to.
It never hit. Bro, can we just, like, sit here and say the Little League World Series might be one of the most overrated things in, like, sports history? Wait, first of all...
No, because when you're the age, it's sick. Like, I remember at the time...
I never watched it.
I loved it. Oh, so
I was jealous.
Bro, I used to fucking, like... I used to get into that, like, the Yankees. Like, I would scream at TV and stuff when it'd be, like, New Jersey playing.
Really?
But it was when I was the age. And then... I think it's one of those things, like... Similar almost to the realization, like, when Volpe came to the league. It's like, oh, shit. Like, I'm older than these people now.
Yeah, but I was mad when I was a kid because I would like want to watch like baseball on ESPN, and it would be nonstop coverage of the Little League World Series. And bro, like let's just be honest, it's not fun. But I did see a clip on Twitter of the Phillies were at the Little League World Series.
Yeah,
and they were like cheering on Team Pennsylvania. It was like Harper, Turner, Schwarber, and by the way, my playoff team, which we talked about, that's my new team going into the playoffs.
I'm not watching jack shit of the playoffs this year. I'm telling you that right now.
Well, someone on Twitter was like, yo, imagine being on the other team and looking in the crowd and seeing Bryce Harper rooting on your downfall.
Yeah, you know who that was? That was my boy Max Manning. Shout out to you, Max. He's a beast. He's had some fire-ass tweets lately. Again, like 20K a pop. All right, Max.
Like you in your heyday.
Yeah, when I tweet. Hey, the heyday could be right now if I wanted to tweet again. Give me something to tweet. I'll throw it out there. But yo. Right. Do you know Series Tigers Yankees next year?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, who gives a fuck, right?
I genuinely don't care. And it's funny because when we were talking about topics for today's show, Dan goes, topic number 4. Let's talk about the Yankees and Tigers in the Little League World Series. I said, Dan, we don't need a topic that's going to take 5 seconds. This is a nothing burger. They're going to Williamsport next year to play the Detroit Tigers in what is it called? The Little League Classic?
The Little League Classic, yeah. It doesn't do anything for me. I would say if there was another Field of Dreams game, that would be hype. I wouldn't mind another.
Why would you bring that up?
Bro, please. One loss in 2021 doesn't mean anything to me. The one loss it was the wild card against Boston. Okay. But okay, on the topic of me bringing up topics and forcing things, you know what one of Pat's topics was today? Aaron Boone. Not fun going through this, right? But I feel like we're okay, and I feel like a turnaround is coming. That's Boone's quote. And then Pat follows up by saying, do the Yankees brass think fans are stupid? Will fans ever stop showing up? Is Boone definitely gone? Which are all valid points to bring up.
Valid points.
But
it's better than Little League World Series.
I think they both fell into the same blanket of their questions that could fall into prior questions. So in like, well, not prior questions, but like we brought this one up casually. And then the Boone thing we could bring up as well. And topic 1 was a thought process of like, you know, behind the scenes of how the show works, all right, people? I try to roast Pat because he brings up dumb questions sometimes too.
Speaking of like, will fans ever stop showing up? It kind of pissed me off this weekend that the stadium was sold out, which I get. Like Yankees, Red Sox, like people still want to go to games. But did you see September 22nd? Someone's like putting together like a Yankee protest day. It's like Fire Cashman Day. Do you want to go?
Yes. Fire Cashman Night, September 22nd against the Diamondbacks. Bro, I'm curious more so about what the Yes broadcast is going to be like. Are they going to dole out the sound, do you think?
See, but I think it's
going to be big.
Do you think?
Yes, no, I do. I think it's going to be actually, because you look at the way the social media posts took off from the get-go, bro. Like, people were really giving this a lot of clout, and then the New York Post put an article out over the weekend about it. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing, dude. And people are going to bring signs. There's going to be shirts. And also, not to mention, even the people who don't know about it yet, like, you show up to the stadium that day, a lot of Yankee fans, even when they just see, oh, people are saying fire Brian Cashman, I'm on board with that, and they'll join as well. So it's not even like you got to be a part of it going in. Like, the whole stadium might turn to, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Like, we hear like 50% of the stadium chanting this shit. And then if that's the case, like, is Yes going to blur that out? Are they going to try to pretend like it's not happening? I think it's going to be a big deal.
I'll be surprised if it is. I'm not like, really? I'm not doubting Yankee fans. I'm kind of doubting Yankee fans.
Oh,
I want them to prove me wrong.
Dude, Yankee fans are fucking nuts. Like,
do you know what day of the week it's going to be? It better not be like a Monday or a Tuesday or something. It should hopefully be like a Friday.
It's it's a Friday game.
Oh, it is?
Game. Bro, Yankee fans are going to be nuts. So
I'm not going to lie. I'm down to go.
They'll be drunk as shit. I might have a couple claws myself.
I'm down to go. Let's go.
I mean, I'm down to lead the troops.
I'm not like bringing a sign, though. Like, I'll go like to watch what goes
I'm not going to
down.
bring a sign only because I know like whatever sign I bring in, they probably just say I can't
you think? They do that?
Yeah. There's like size regulations and stuff. And I just know my dumb ass would probably make it like 1 inch too big. And then they stomp on it in front of my face.
That's what they all say.
F you.
Yeah.
The security will be on watch too. Like, I bet you they're going to be real stingy about it.
I guess.
Like, you probably can't have, like, the slightest curse word on there, which, I mean, makes sense and all, but, like, they'll be very, like, Brian Cashman and, like, the front office going down, they'll be like, make sure you don't allow anything that shouldn't be in the stadium tonight. And, like, you'll probably have security guards that are real dickheads, I feel like. You don't feel that way?
I don't know. I'm not, like, I don't know Yankee Stadium security like that.
I don't know it either. I'm just assuming.
You feel like, it seems like you have a vendetta against them, because, I don't know, maybe, like, they made you throw out a tripod a couple years ago or something.
Why are you saying maybe, like, you think that may have, like, you know that happened, and I was with you. Fucking act like it was a bomb.
No, that's what you told him.
No,
he made you throw it out, and you go, it's not like it was a bomb.
Dan,
you can't say, like, now they're really not going to let you
I said it's not going to blow up.
No, you said bomb. You said bomb.
And then maybe throw it out. It was a small little thing, too. It was a nice tripod.
It was a decent-sized tripod.
Yeah. I don't got beef with Yankee Stadium. I'm just, for real, though, I think September 22nd is going to be legit, like, big deal. Like, it's going to be on the news.
Yeah.
It's going to be talked about, like on Baseball Today, for example, the show with Chris Rose and Trevor Plouffe. I bet you it's a topic.
Okay.
Yeah, like, it's going to be a big deal.
You think it's going to be as big as the one that the A's had?
No, not that big, no. Because that was, like, usually they would have 1,000 people show up to the games, then all of a sudden they had 40,000 show up. This is more so about how many – I'm wondering, like, how many people – what's the percentage of people in the ballpark that are going to be involved in this little protest thing? I actually think we might get to, like, 50%. It's going to be loud, dude. You're going to hear it on the broadcast unless they tone it out.
We'll see.
I'll be there.
Topic number 4, let's just talk about, like, I feel like we could get personal. First ever in-person episode of the Yankees Avenue Show. Episode 100, 1-year anniversary. Like, we could get personal with things here. We could talk about the story of the Yankees Avenue Show, how we even met, because I feel like these are things where if people have been, like, following us for years now, like, maybe they know, like, bits and pieces, but they don't know, like, our story. So if there was ever a time for it, it's now.
All right, I mean, I'll talk about how I first met you. For those who may know, fan sided, there's a little segment for the Yankees, which is Yanks Go Yard. And me and Pat were both writers, young aspiring writers at Yanks Go Yard.
16, 17?
And dude, I'll tell you this, yeah. So I'm in the field, bro. Naturally, like I'll become like a little bit of jealous person, like, and I try to use my advantage. Like I see somebody more successful than me, I'm like, fuck this motherfucker. Like I need to get bigger than him. Pat was somebody who I remember seeing your little profile picture in our like directory of writers, and like. It was Patrick Hennessy, and I was like, yo, this dude is my age, and he's doing the same shit that I was doing, which, not going to lie, bothered me a little bit, because, like, that was kind of a cool thing. No, for me, it was like, I was the only one that was, like, writing about the Yankees at, like, age 16, 17. And then I see you doing this, I'm like, yo, what is this kid's effing deal? So, a couple months later, this is, like, entering the 2018 season. I believe you tweet out saying, yo, I have an interesting opportunity for, I don't know if it's for Yankee fans or, like, Yankee creators, something along those lines. And I thought Pat was just talking about Yanks Go Yard. Like, maybe they needed more writers or something.
That's right.
Yeah, some shit like that. So I messaged you. I'm like, is this about Yanks Go Yard? Pat goes, no, it's about something different. Well, and behold, the something different would be something that would be kind of a big part of our lives, especially your life.
Yeah.
You created
it's tatted on
Unhinged and Unhinged Yankees.
Yeah.
Which we can't really talk about any of our history without that. That was your shit, bro.
So, I mean, obviously, like, I wanted to be, like, a journalist, right? So, like, 16, 17,
Same.
I worked for, like, so many blogs, like, writing about the Yankees. 2018, I was like, yo, I'm going to start my own. And that's how Unhinged Yankees started. We got, like, a bunch of writers, and you guys might remember them from the Unhinged Yankees channel. Jalen, Sean, Para, the whole crew. And then Dan messaged me, and we started just chatting. Like, we started talking as, like, boys at that point, because I'm like, yo, this kid's kind of cool. Yeah, and then summer of 2018, I guess, we started doing, like, video content, and we did something called Unhinged Reacts. If anybody could find this on the internet anywhere, I'd be shocked, because it's probably wiped completely. We used to live stream. People probably don't know this. For, like, 3 hours during the games for 0 people.
Yeah.
We would just talk to each other. You would be eating sandwiches, and this was how we, like, got to know each other over time.
Yeah, well, also, too, bro, like, from the get-go, it seemed, within the first month, you just, like, made me editor of the site. And then you made me, like, editor-in-chief, which is kind of just
you were
like,
editor-in-chief. It was a cool title.
Twitter bio and everything. I threw that shit in there right away.
It was awesome.
But one, I feel like it was kind of just you, like, throwing me a bone, the fact that we were boys, and I just looked at my resume. But, like, we legit, like, we would almost discuss stuff at, like, an executive level, I guess you could say. And then we came up with the idea of Unhinged Reacts, which that lasted, and this is something we can get into. Me and Pat, I don't know how long that lasted, but we often have a bad habit of, this is why this show's so great, we start shit up, and then maybe lasts a week or two. Yeah. Although Reacts, we were watching a couple games. We probably had like 3 or 4 games that we watched. Like, I particularly remember Aaron Hicks' 3-homer game against Boston where David Price got beat up around. Judge, I think, went deep as well. Like a couple of Yankee Red Sox games and maybe like a Yankees Mets. I think the game where like Tanaka got hurt running the bases in Citi Field we were watching as well. But so we started doing that, stopped. And then what was next? Was it Lights Out, I guess? Yeah, so we always wanted to do something. Like, that's the thing. We always wanted to, like, we have something that we can do together. Well, we just didn't know exactly what it was. We did Unhinged Talk, which was audio only. And we did that for maybe about, like, 5 or 6 episodes. Those are still on Spotify somewhere. If you guys want to go check out Unhinged Talk, it's a painful listen. If you want to hear a bunch of, like, monotone and and me not being able to get a coherent thought, even worse than I am today, go, take a listen. But that was like fall of 2018. So, like, we're still trying to work out something like, and that was like your show that you would bring me on occasionally to do. No, I think we were like co-hosts. We were, right. Yes. Well, I think that's what, like, this has always been, right? Like, Unhinged Yankees, it was like,
me and you. And then we'll talk more about it like when Yankees Avenue Show started. But then it's like, yo, then it's like the Yankees Avenue Show is me and you. And I think like it continues from like just the beginning of everything. But after Unhinged Talk kind of like fell through, then we tried Lights Out, which lasted for one single episode, and we really put a lot of time and effort into planning this.
Keep in mind, all this shit we made logos. Like, not even just like we did.
Bro,
for,
we
like,
paid somebody
logos.
to. It was like, welcome to Lights Out with Dan Rourke and Patrick Hennessy.
For like almost all this stuff, I feel like even the Unhinged Talk, like we technically had logos made, and then Lights Out, we had a logo made. We had, what was it? We had like a jingle as well. I guess that's what you were saying. Yeah, we had a jingle.
Yeah, we paid somebody to be like
all to do one episode. And a large part of it may have been my fault because the way I handle my schedule is always very weird. So it may have been my fault. I don't know. But that lasted a week is the point.
Yeah, it also wasn't a great show. Like, I think, but that's also why, like, all these little shows, like, building up to this, like, it gave us so much experience and practice. Also, I want to, like, put something into people's heads, too. Like, a lot of people think that, like, Dan and I, like, know each other, like, from, like, childhood. Like, that's why we're so close. This might be Dan and I's fifth time meeting each other in person.
Yeah.
And I think, like, just our chemistry just comes from like so much on-air content together over the years. Like, it's not like in person, like we're boys going out every night.
That's why I remember first time I met this kid in person was the ALDS or AL Wildcard game in 2018.
Yes.
And I remember feeling it's like, yo, am I actually meeting this dude? Because I've known him now technically for like a year now. He's like my boy, my best friend.
Yeah.
But then how close we are, it is weird that we've seen each other yet probably 5 times. This is probably the 5 or the sixth time we've done this, but or seen in person. But yes, we had one episode of Lights Out. And also the issue with that a little bit too was that was more of a generic baseball podcast, I believe, too, right? It wasn't.
It was. Yeah.
That's something I know for a fact, like, I can never do. Like, I blanketed myself early on, like, oh, I like the Yankees. I love baseball. That latter statement is not nearly as true as the first one. I'm so much more of a Yankee fan than I am, like, a baseball fan, like, from a generic standpoint. So I think that was part of the issue with that show as well. And then the first time we really, truly caught momentum was the next summer, 2021. We finally got something at least off the ground. Multiple episodes that I would consider at least like a relatively complete journey. Yeah, the Pat and Dan show, for those who might remember that was on your channel on Unhinged.
Yeah.
And we would go live a couple days a week. It'd be live, and we get questions and stuff from people too.
It was fun.
Like, it was
the Pat and Dan show. Like, I'm sure a lot of people know the Pat and Dan show because it was fairly recent. It was like 2 years ago, and it was like 2021, and it was a live show where we kind of just like we didn't really have like a format. We would just like go live and shoot the shit for an hour, a couple times a week.
Yeah,
and I think that was the time where we kind of realized, like, yo, maybe we actually can do something on a consistent basis. But then after the 2021 season ended, we're like, we don't want to go live, like, during the off season, and, like, there's just no point. But then that's when shit got real because we kind of waited, like, a year. And then summer of 2022, I will never forget this, bro. I was on, like, a walk, a nature walk. I was like, I got to clear my head. Like, bro, I'm just stressed out lately. And I get a FaceTime call from Dan. And Dan goes, bro, I want to start a show on Yankees Avenue. And I was like
set on it too.
And I was like, yeah, but like I don't want to get into something else. And like if we're not committed to it, I don't want to have like another failed show and like only do 5 episodes or whatever. And then you're like, no, bro, like I'm serious about this one. And we did it. And bro, the first episode, we were like, yo, this is killer. And just as time went on, like we realized like this show is here to stay.
I remember it like it was yesterday, dude. Yeah, first of all, that intro episode, the Zoom ends, we hit record stop, and we had it in the bank, and right away we started like screaming at each other, like, bro, like that was fire. And in hindsight, you go watch that show back, it probably wasn't all that fire at all, but we were so hyped. And I remember calling you about this and like knowing that you would be a little skeptical because we've had ideas in the past, and sometimes they don't really come through, or if they do, they fall apart. I remember knowing you would say, oh, I don't really know. But I was like, Pat, no, like, I'm not playing with this. And it was all like kind of laid out too. I think I had like the graphics already made and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I presented the format to you about how it would work. And I guess, like a week later, we did episode 1, which was a year ago today. And I just want to say, yo, like this shit is like, it's gone better than I ever could have possibly imagined. Especially the fact that like we've done it and we've stuck through it. But also just like, I guess it's a quick thing we can kind of shout out the community for. You guys are dope. Like we legit have an established group of listeners now that has given me and us something that I've always wanted, which is like a true feeling of community. And not just, because I've had this channel now for years. And like, there'll be videos I post and like, say they'll have some success, whatever, but it always just felt more so like people like the Yankees, they're going to click on a video about the Yankees. What's different about this, though, is like we really feel like a big group of homies.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we've made over the last year that's really like developed. It's like we do have an actual sense of community to where like we post this video tomorrow on Tuesday, right? Like, I know who's showing up. Like, I'm going to see familiar faces in the comments and some new ones, which obviously we welcome. Subscribe if you're new. But yeah, dude, it's cool. Like, familiar faces, like familiar vibes. Like, we're one legit community now this show has turned into, which I think is like the dopest thing we could say about it.
Yeah, and I think like that's another thing that goes into it. Like, just talking about the state of the Yankees Avenue show. This show is nothing without our community and this audience, because we say it all the time. Like, bro, even if the Yankees are really bad, like they are right now, like, we appreciate so much that people tune in just to listen to what we have to say and like shoot the shit about whatever we want. And I don't know, bro. It's just, it feels good to be able to go in the comments. Like, we read all the comments. We really do. Even the hate comments, whatever. And to see people being like, oh, I've been here since episode 1.
Yeah.
And, like, I've been watching you guys from the start. Like, it makes me feel so good. And it's like, it's adorable. It's like a Gerrit Cole. It's wholesome as hell, bro.
I think the wholesome vibe definitely fits there a little better than the Cole one. But yes, no, I agree with that 100%.
No,
it's cool fun, shit, bro. We really appreciate you guys. We really, really do. And the show's come a long way. And it's cool to see where we're at, bro. We're in a studio right now.
No, like, and that, bro, that's the craziest thing of this whole thing is, like, we're usually sitting in our bedrooms. And now, also, I think this is definitely something we're going to want to do. On, like, especially, like, it sucks because I would love to do, like, playoff stuff. And,
don't even talk about playoffs,
But maybe, like, when the Yankees signed Shohei Ohtani, we're like, oh, let's do an in-person episode.
Dude, it's, like, ruining fall for me almost, man. Because, like, I bought pumpkin candles yesterday. I got my pumpkin latte yesterday. I'm getting pumpkin donuts and pastries from Dunkin'. I'm ready for fall, one of my favorite seasons of the year. I don't know what I'm going to do in October, bro. I can't watch any of these games. Obviously, I'll have football.
Do you want to come to Philly?
It's a staple. No. What? You're going to Philly, too?
I'm going to go to Philly.
Dude, that's whack.
How is that whack? I want to watch postseason baseball, and I want to be in person in Citizens Bank Park with the Philly Fanatic.
Oh, God. No. I'll just be honest, dude. I don't know if this is going to come off as bad. Like, every other team, all the rest of the 29 motherfuckers, they can drop dead for all I care.
Okay.
I want nothing to do with them. I'm never going to show them any support. Although, the Phillies, I gave you credit last week, and I'll say, like, at least they're an NL team.
They're a fun team. You don't like Bryce Harper. You don't like Trey Turner. You don't like
that's the only... No. The players, I'll be like, okay, Bryce Harper, I'm rooting for you. Like, let's say if Blake Snell and the Padres in the playoffs, like, I like him.
You like Blake Snell?
I love Blake Snell.
I would never expect that.
No, he's my kind of guy to hang out with, bro. Like, he's really, like, I feel like he'd be the coolest, probably coolest player. Like, if you were, like, bias aside, just, like, straight up personality, who would I rather hang out with? Just personality. Like, Judge or Blake Snell? Blake Snell. I don't
think Judge would be fun to hang out with at all.
Well, actually, it's funny I use that example. It's probably a terrible example because they're boys, and I take this back, actually, because they're probably exactly the same. But the difference is Snell lets that side of him show to the media. Judge doesn't.
You're calling Judge fake.
Well, no, he just doesn't act the same way he would if he was, at home in his crib. I mean, I would hope not.
Fake?
Do I act the same way I act at my house here? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I mean,
I just wish the other 29 teams dead. So.
I know. That kind of throws away that theory. But that's much more of how I am truly in real life is that, and I'll let it sneak through every now and then. But, no, I think Judge has a lot more of a chill side to him like Snell, but Snell lets it show through. And I think Snell is cool as fuck. But anyways, point is, I'm not even going to watch the playoffs, and I don't want to see any of the fan base happy. It's a selfish part of me. It's true. I want to say this, though. What you're doing, I think, is relatively bad. Really bad when I see Yankee fans saying...
Wait, why is that? I don't understand why. And you keep saying that it's bad. Okay, I'm going to watch the MLB postseason this year.
Oh, here we go.
And I'm going
That's what it is? You're just going to watch now?
I'm going to
watch... What happened to chilling with the Philly fucking fanatic? What happened to that? Going to Philly, hanging out with the Phillies fans and chilling with the fanatic.
I am going to watch the postseason this year. And baseball and sports in general are fun when you have a rooting interest. Am I a Phillies fan? No. But... maybe will I take a train to Philadelphia and watch a postseason game?
Okay, the way you present that, maybe I'll take a train to Philadelphia. Like, that's something the way you phrase that, bro.
Why not?
You say it in the tone of like you're doing something that's very easy and simple, doesn't require that much effort.
Bro, it's like an hour train.
You're going out of your way to see a Phillies game in the playoffs and to hang out with the Philly fanatic. That's what you're doing. That's cool. I want to. I
never said we're gonna have like a one-on-one like hangout session, but I want to see the fanatic. Yeah,
I see where your loyalty lies, bro. It's okay. I understand. What's worse, though, is if, and this is an actual thing I have to get out there, I see Yankee fans rooting for, like, American League teams. I saw somebody say they're rooting for the Orioles. Bro.
I don't hate the Orioles.
I don't hate them, but, dude, like, you still got to have a little bit of class.
Would you be mad if they won the World Series?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. I think I probably want the Braves to win if I were to pick a team.
I like the Braves, too.
It's not a matter of liking. It's about least hate.
If the Phillies get eliminated... I'll root for the Braves.
Well, the Braves are cheating, though. Nobody talks about that. They've
cheating.
hacked PitchCom.
They're not cheating.
They've hacked PitchCom.
That's just another insane accusation.
Yo, another good tweet by Max the other day. I think you'd like this. So you see the tweet about, you look at the Red Sox and their OPS in their lineup. They have like 7 guys above an 800. And you know how much we talk about Gleyber Torres, how good of a year he's having?
I did see this tweet.
The 8th highest OPS.
Yes, I thought that this was very interesting because it's something I talk about all the time, too. It's like, I think Gleyber Torres' season, while it's like a nice season, it's a little bit overrated just because the Yankees are so bad.
That's what the diss is, though, to me.
And
Is it shows how bad the Yankees
But also,
is.
keep in mind, the Red Sox aren't even having a great season. But the fact, like, they're having so many guys having good offensive years, Gleyber would be their 9th best hitter, is wild.
I'm bringing that up to show, like, just how bad things are with the Yankees. But
you want to get into topic 5 or
let's do some live viewer questions, Joe.
We got some viewer questions. We could probably hit a bunch of these like rapid fire. Do we want to say the person's username? Give them like a
give them a little shout out.
All right. This one's from J Rob 6584. I guess I'll include
shout out to you, brother.
He says, congratulations on 100 episodes. Can't wait for more. Who or what moment made you guys into Yankee fans?
Dude, so I have such a kind of a weird answer for this because I don't remember the exact moment. I remember it just being a thing that I was a Yankee fan. But the couple of earliest memories I truly have is, one, I watched the 2009 playoffs, but I was like, I'll be honest with you guys, I hardly experienced it. I was like asleep through the whole thing. My dad woke me up for the final out. I watched it. It wasn't until 2011 that I truly started to watch, and I remember it just being a thing. I came home from 5th grade for the 2011 season. It was opening day. I woke up that morning, I didn't even know it was opening day, but I came home to my dad telling me, there's pizza in the garage and the TV's on with the Yankee game. And it was just a thing that I was going to go and watch it, and I did. And from that point forward, I pretty much just wouldn't miss a game. I'd watch every single one, and it was like, okay, 2011 on, that's my point of I'm a Yankee fan now. So I don't remember what the exact moment was. It was just a thing that happened that like I now watch every Yankee game. Because I was playing, and like my dad were getting we were starting to get like real close at that time, and he just like had the game on. It was okay, 2011 opening day, and the Yankees beat the Tigers 6-3.
Yeah, I feel like that's like where a lot of it comes from, like your parents, right? Like for me, I remember vividly. It was 2006. And my mom, like, literally sat me down and forced me to watch the Yankees. I was like, yo, this is the most boring thing I've ever seen in my life. And then I started playing the MLB 2K games. And I was like, yo, these are kind of fun. Maybe I should give the real thing a shot. So it was 2007 then at that point. It was probably like MLB 2K6 I was playing with Jeter on the cover.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'll watch the Yankees. And I turned on the Yankees at 7 years old. And Alex Rodriguez, bro, with the eye black and the sunglasses and the high socks and the cool-ass batting stance, hitting 54 home runs, right? 54 home runs. Yeah. And Alex Rodriguez really made me fall in love with the game of baseball. And then I kind of got scarred because 2007, obviously, the Yankees lost to the Indians then in the ALDS.
You were so much earlier than me, dude.
With the bugs. I was scarred for life. I was 7 years old, like looking at my TV. Why is Joe Torre not pulling the team off the field? There's bugs all over. And that was my most scarring moment. And then the 2009 World Series, I vividly remember I went with my mom because the Yankees must have won the World Series on a Thursday. If that's true, that's insane.
I feel like that is true.
Because I remember the day after, my mom took me to Modell's to buy like World Series merch.
Oh,
and
dude.
It was so cool, bro.
That's nice.
Because there was like you walk into Modell's and that's what everyone is there for. And they have tables and tables of all these different shirts, and it was just an awesome time to be alive.
For me, it was like I would watch playoffs, but it wasn't a thing where I was losing sleep over. I did not cry. That's why I keep mentioning 2011. It wasn't until 2011 I cried over the Yankees. And it'd be a random June loss.
I cried in 2010.
And did you? After LCS?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I watched that. And I remember it just being like, that was kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, it was just on, I'll watch with my dad, which I did. But I remember the first time truly sobbing over the Yankees. Sobbing was a couple times in 2012, but in particular, because I was also a huge A-Rod fan, and he's part of the reason why I fell so in love with the Yankees. When he broke his wrist in 2012, I remember it like it was yesterday, because A-Rod was kind of on his decline at that point. Like he was starting to fall off a little bit while still being a competent player. And like Yankee fans, as always, would always just get on him. And I was bummed that he was having a down year. He started to pick it up though in July, and it was like, okay, he may still finish like a 25 homer season. Like that's kind of hype. Felix Hernandez, 88-mile-an-hour changeup to the wrist. He falls down. A-Rod himself looked like he was in tears. He looked like he was sobbing. I bawled out that night, dude. And it's a night I'll never forget because in terms of my baseball watching, like fandom, like I now felt like a true low in sport. Like, it was such a bad moment that it made me cry, and that's where it really hooked me in. Like, holy shit! Like this shit is going to define my life now.
Yeah,
which is a crazy, crazy feeling. And since then, I probably have cried a bunch more times, but I don't do it anymore. I don't really cry for the Yankees anymore.
Okay. Next question. We spent a long time on that one, actually.
Yeah.
This one's from Brendan Q. Very loyal viewer, Brendan.
Yo, shout out Brendan. You're the man, dog.
He says, congrats on 100 episodes. Such a great show. You guys are great. That makes me feel so good.
He's there all the time, bro.
He
He's
says,
one of the diehards.
who is your favorite player at each position all time, not best favorite? Sorry, Brendan, we're not going to do every position because that would take forever.
Yeah.
Just give me, I mean, I feel like we might have the same, but favorite player of all time.
We should do besides A-Rod.
Besides A-Rod.
I'll go on the pitching end of things, probably Andy Pettit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go on the pitching side of things, too. I'm going to go with the most adorable pitcher in Major League Baseball history, Gerrit Cole.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
No, that is fair. I wasn't more so thinking active, but I guess mine would just
Would
just be Judge.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you like Judge more than Pettit. Yeah. Next question here. This one's from Pack NYY. Congrats on 100 episodes. Love both you guys. We love you. Will Cashman be fired before his remaining 3 years are up?
Before the 3 years are up, I'd like to hold out hope and say yes. As for this offseason, gun in my head, no.
I'm going to say yes. Because I don't see next year getting any better. And like I said, I think if they don't turn around next season, I think he's gone.
Part of me looks at it like, if not now, when? Because Cashman, if he's going to have an opportunity to get this in order, there's a chance he does on a surface level to where they get back to being a playoff team. They might make an ALCS again in the next 3 years. And then that could be enough where Hal looks at it and be like, okay, he's back on track. He's doing his job. So this is probably the most obvious moment to fire him. So that's concerning. Like, I very well could see him not being fired at all in the next 3 years, even if the Yankees don't win a World Series.
I guess.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. This is a fun question. This one's from Mateo Play. Quick question. Dan, is covering the Yankees your full-time job currently, or will it be one day? And Pat, rate your first pitch for the Patriots out of 10. I give it a 6.
I was saying to Pat earlier, the fact that you didn't bounce it at all, I think automatically gets you to like the 6 or 7
that was my
territory.
goal. Yeah.
And yo, 6, this is something I talk about with like my movie fan friends all the time. 6 isn't bad. It really isn't. Because you think about
above
it,
average.
out of 10, it's above average, right?
Yeah, it's not great.
If you were to say a girl's a 6, they get naturally offended. Or anybody, you say their looks are a 6. But I would actually take that as a relative compliment. Like, you're not. If somebody calls you a 6,
no, you would not.
Somebody calls you a 6, you're not ugly.
Dan, you're telling me you go out to a bar and you start talking to this girl, right?
Yeah.
And you see her walk back over to her friends, and they're like, "Oh, how was he?" She's like, "He's a 6."
Fuck it, we ball. I got a chance.
Bro, there's no you don't.
Yeah,
if a
no,
girl thinks you're a 6, you do not have a chance.
Well, it depends.
You would have to do something to like make your score go up higher.
It's more of like, yeah. So the way I see it is this: like, if you're a 6, you have at least enough of a window to be bumped up to an 8 if you have like a good personality. You know what I mean? Like, if you're Point is, being a 6 isn't all that bad of a deal. No. As for the question about me,
but what I would give it, because he said like, what would you? Yeah, he said rate your first pitch.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more hard on myself.
You got to pull up a video. Do you have it on, like, ready to go? Cause
we could put it in the edit.
I mean, for me to see, because else I can't give it.
No, you'll see later. I give it like a 5.5, 6. I think 6 is a fair score for it, because it wasn't horrible. It was high and outside.
You shouldn't be insulted by that.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. What is that?
I told you I just bought this today.
You still have the tag on this shirt?
I was just about to say. From Cheap Maggie's, $39.99, which is kind of a ridiculous price for this shirt. I mean, it's like an okay shirt. It got the job done.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, fuck, man. I said to the dude, because there was a little, like, a medium sticker, and I peeled it off. I'm like, any other stickers? And I did a little twirl like an idiot in the store to, like, see if there's anything hanging from me, right? He was like, oh, no, buddy, you're fine. So, all right, I trusted him. Apparently not. But
that's definitely, like, fake polo, too.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, absolutely.
No, it has to.
I was in a bind. Yeah. Cheap Maggie's. And it's a store I usually won't go into. It's like one of the dumps of Hoboken.
Polo closeout. Okay.
It's not much of a closeout deal, though. It's $40. Like, if
Look. Ridiculous is spelled wrong.
Oh, really?
Bro, on the tag, it says grape. Yo, by the way, shout out Cheap Maggie's. Maybe they want to sponsor it. Maybe not now. It says great brands at ridiculous prices with an E.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's like a slogan. I don't know. Your first pitch, I would give a good 6. You shouldn't feel bad about that. I'll have to look back at it. As for, what was it? Are the Yankees my full-time job?
Yeah, or will it be one day?
All right, so this is kind of like a loaded answer. I'll try to condense it as much as possible. My full-time career, I work for John Boy Media. Now, like, you guys have you've seen me probably like doing blitzball and warehouse stuff. That's not like being a talent is not my job. I work behind the scenes as an editor. That's where I get like my money to pay the bills, keep the lights on. Which the schedule though allows it to where I can run Yankees Avenue also like a full-time job. So pretty much a standard day would be I do my, let's just say 9 to 5 at John Boy, although it usually extends past that, and then I'll be able to watch Yankee games at 7, cover them without problem, and I'll also kind of make that as like a side hobby. So I have, what's that word, income?
Side hustle.
Passive income. Like passive income is kind of what Yankees Avenue is.
I don't think that's what
John Boy's the main career. Yeah.
Can I answer this question too?
Sure.
Because I feel like this is something like me and you talk about sometimes too. And I make it a point that the Yankees aren't, like, covering the Yankees isn't my full-time career, because I love how, like, this, and I guess, like, stuff we do on Unhinged sometimes too, is, like, my only aspect of, like, baseball, covering the Yankees. Because, like, I guess you guys know this, like, my full-time job, like, I edit for Impulsive, I edit for Better, and Better Baseball too. So it's like I have, like, every aspect of my life which I'm interested in, right? Like YouTube, pop culture, baseball, and then I also incorporate the Yankees. But I think if, like, I was the Yankees beat writer and that was, like, my full-time job, I think I'm too much of a fan for that, because I would go crazy, bro. Like, the Yankees being my only life would drive me insane.
Yeah,
that's that's basically you, bro.
Yeah, no, that's the only tough part about it, because it's when the Yankees suck, it's tough to get away from it. But, like, so pretty much what I'll do for YanksAve, like, I don't miss a game. I clip every single, like, highlight that comes out. I do the game highlights. I got this, some other stuff as well. So pretty much just a whole big blend of doing baseball / editing as a career. But Yankees Avenue is not my everyday job, although I do it every day. Does that make sense? Like, John Boy is what pays the bills. Yeah. Yankees Avenue is like a supplemental. Say out of the 100% of a pie chart of what I make earnings-wise, John Boy's a good 75% of that. And then YanksAve is the rest.
That's fair. The IRS is...
Which kind of explains, like, the workload and shit. Yeah, I know. I got to do my taxes, bro.
You didn't do them?
No, not in 3 years.
No, you shouldn't say that.
Oh, the world knows. I'm never not going to say something.
You haven't done your taxes in 3 years?
I'm doing them, though, this fall.
I thought you did them.
No, it was the same situation 3 years ago. I hadn't done them in the last, like, 2 or 3 years. And then I went to H&R Block.
Bro, the FBI is going to come, like, ramming through
Let them, bro.
door.
Those fuckers owe me money. I'm doing them a favor.
They do not owe you money.
Yes, they do. Yes, that's why they haven't come after
3
me
years?
yet.
Okay, sure. Well, you want to do, like, 3 more questions? I think
sure, keep them coming.
We have a lot of good ones, actually.
Yeah, you guys killed it. It's just a lot, period. Like, people were hyped.
No, I know. And they didn't even know, like, what we were doing today, which is even cool.
Yeah.
It's Go Yanks. You're going to like this one. They said, I already put in my Elvis request, but I'll do it once again. I think he just wants you to, like, talk about Elvis.
I think it was somebody asked what our favorite Elvis songs were, and then we talked about it on the Zoom.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, but we never talked about it actually on the show. So if that's what you're asking, what is my favorite Elvis song? There's so much you could pick from. I'll go with If I Can Dream, which I listened to today. That's a song, if there was one that brings a tear to my eyes, it's that. It's like, makes me, if I'm, like, having a bad day, like, or the Yankees suck, it's like, bro, like, get your shit together, brother. Like, dream big. And it's like, brings a tear to my eye. But nah, dude, like, Suspicious Minds, phenomenal. Burning Love, the film mix, phenomenal. I love the Rubberneckin' song. I'm not sure if you ever heard that or not.
But I don't know. Shout out.
I would really, really encourage you guys to watch the movie, because it changed my life. It really did. Like, I have these little fixations that I'll have, and they're not too frequent. Like, there'll be one's the Yankees, and that's stuck with me for life. The other was Wolf of Wall Street in 2018.
I remember that.
That kind of, like, that. These are, like, big things in my life that, like, lead to life events, because I watched Wolf of Wall Street in 2018, and this is a little background into how my life developed.
The life story of Dan.
Yeah, I just got out of high school, was not a good student, not because I'm too much of an idiot, but I just didn't apply myself. I knew what baseball was, what I wanted to do. Went to community college for a month, dropped out after the Yankees got bounced by the Red Sox. And then I was kind of in a limbo period for the next few weeks, and then I watched Wolf of Wall Street, and it gave me what I coined Stratonitis, which is when you watch that movie and it just makes you insanely motivated to become a salesman. Okay. That's what happened. I looked up the next day after watching it, sales jobs. Got a job at Verizon, selling cell phones. Did that for the next 2 years, like, on my Wolf of Wall Street shit, 'cause I thought it was cool. And then that led into John Boy. So in a way, it kind of, a fixation of Wolf of Wall Street set me up for, like, 2 years of, like, getting by, progressing in life, saved up a little bit of money.
Speaking of John Boy,
Elvis,
I was going to say,
music taste.
Someone commented and said, when is Pat going to play in the warehouse games?
Yeah, I wish I, like, had an answer for that. That would be a dream come true.
That would be fun.
The only problem is I'm, like, not that good of a blitzball player.
I don't even know what it is. I just see you play.
I don't think we would be all that good, but it'd be good for content. No, we wouldn't, dude. Like, we wouldn't. Like, it's tough.
Yeah, but
it's tough.
Didn't you win?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. Goat Gaming. This is a good one. Would you ever make the Yankees Avenue Show include a third person?
Fuck no. Absolutely not. Unless it was a guest.
Yes.
And even guest, it would be like, my pet peeve with podcasts will be like, shows bringing on guests just to have
that you don't need.
Just to have a guest. And you don't need that. Oftentimes, my favorite episodes will be Impulsive, for example.
Sure.
Oftentimes, my favorite episodes would be just them three or whoever it is now, because I know George is off.
Jeff Whittick.
Sure. So, like, the main three shooting the shit. But sometimes, a lot of podcasts do that. They'll just get a guest that I have no like no desire to listen to, and I won't listen. I would have rather them just been them, and I feel like that would happen with this show if we just brought on like some random beat writer. Now, if A-Rod were to be down, all right, bet.
Yeah.
Or if say Michael K were to be down, all right, bet.
Okay, you know, I don't disagree because I think Michael K would be great content. And my only thing was
Base box office. You can't dispute that.
yeah, no, for sure. But I think that's always what our thing has been because we've talked about in the past, like, oh, do we want to bring on a guest? But also, I feel like we're so deep into it at this point with no guest. The guest we would bring on would have to be like earth shattering. And my goal by the end of 2023, which we said, and I'm still sticking to that, I want to have A-Rod on this show by the end of the year.
I don't know if I'm cool with A-Rod though, bro.
That's fine. I'm not cool with K.
Nah, but A-Rod, I think he takes the Hall of Fame shit so seriously.
As he should.
No,
he belongs in it.
I get it. Bro, there's some things I hear about what A-Rod says about the Hall of Fame and players who go in. Like, apparently when Scott Rowland got in, he was throwing not throwing a fit, but he was pissed. And yeah, like rightfully so,
Yeah,
I
he
guess you could
should
say.
be.
For those who don't know, I made a video from the show saying that while I'm the biggest A-Rod fan in the world, I actually don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame, or I understand why he isn't. Which, how do you feel about that?
Okay, but also, no, let's put the... I feel like we've given context for this a little bit, too. There was no... Like, you talked about it on the show. Knowing that A-Rod follows the Yankees Avenue Instagram account, you went out of your way to go clip it out and post it, knowing A-Rod was most likely going to see it. Like, you can't even be confused as to why he unfollowed.
No. One, I didn't know A-Rod was going to see it. While he'll like my stuff sometimes, I was posting the clip because it's A-Rod and it's a
Did you
good
tag him?
step. No. I did not tag him. Although, in 2021, the one time I did call for Aaron Boone's job, I felt like it'd make me a bitch if I didn't tag him, which Boone follows Yankees Avenue as well. So I did tag Aaron Boone a couple years ago, and he didn't unfollow me. He wasn't bothered by it. He probably just didn't see it. So I kind of had that same vibe with A-Rod where I wanted to post a clip, and it didn't dawn on me that, like, until after, like, when I was making it, that, oh, shit, if he were to see this, he may not be a huge fan. But then once I felt that, it's like I can't use that as a reason not to post it because that would be really kind of soft to me to, like, be afraid of what A-Rod might think. So then I just posted it. And in a way, it's kind of cool. Like, yo, me and A-Rod got beef. I think maybe we'll take that.
I don't see, but it's a very one-sided beef. Like, it's like on Twitter, like, bro, he doesn't know you.
What do you mean?
He doesn't know you, little bro.
What are you talking about?
Like, if someone walks up to him and is like, oh, like,
the whole person,
do you have beef with Yankees Avenue? He's going to be like, what?
All right, but also, too, it's not like...
It affects you way more than it affects him. For him, it was probably like, oh, this account's talking shit, unfollow.
Yeah, but also, too, it doesn't actually affect... Besides, like, okay, we can't get him on for an interview, but it doesn't, like, make me not like A-Rod or anything. It doesn't affect my fandom. It doesn't change the way I feel about
We could still get him on for an interview, just saying.
I don't know. I love him to death.
I have two more questions. Two quick questions.
You or them?
No, I do. I mean, we're not answering all 93, but... Sean Fell, I like this one. He says, if you were to start a completely new baseball team tomorrow, where would it be located? What would the team name be? And what would be a realistic roster you would assemble? So maybe pick, like, I don't know, a pitcher, a hitter, and I don't know, reliever. I don't.
Well, if I want to give an actual answer about where baseball should go, a little shout out to you and where you're headed. I mean, Nashville people talk about a lot. They really, really do.
Yep.
Is that where you're going to go?
I was going to take an MLB team to Nashville. Also, bro, Vanderbilt is right there, too, so it's like the connection.
I'll leave that answer to you, because I have no interest in starting another team.
I would start a team in Nashville. I would bring Major League Baseball to Nashville. I think that would be fucking sick. Sorry, Christina. And
it's going to happen soon.
I think, no, it has to. But I don't know if that would be the first place they launch out to. I think it would be Vegas. I think with the
A's are going there now, though, so that's not even an expansion. That's just going to be the same team. But if they go to 32... You figure Nashville will be one.
A team name, though. What would be a good team name for a Nashville team?
You would know better than I do. I mean, they're kind of hickish out there, right?
Ooh! This is definitely like a minor league team name. The Nashville Outlaws.
That's not bad. That's not
good.
bad, because they're like on their cowboy vibe, right?
That's good. And the logo could be like a cowboy, pistol-toting, cowboy hat on. I think hire me, MLB.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I would also say... Well, no, because I was going to say New Mexico or the Mexico City or whatever, but the balls were be flying out of the park the way they were in the that Cardinals series or whatever it was.
Montreal, a lot of people want.
Montreal. I have no interest in starting a new team. It's a good question, but my focus is internal with the New York Yankees.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever. My players, though, I mean, I think it's, like, easy. Like, give me Cole, Ohtani, Judge. Like, just give me, like, the best players.
One of the things I'm so curious about is, because I guess we've been alive during expansion, or, like, during teams moving.
No, we haven't.
Well, the Expos, when they left, like, when they...
that wasn't
they transitioned to... Like,
was it expansion?
Did they lose a team when they lost the Expos, or they transitioned into the Who do they transition into?
I think they
The
transitioned
Nationals?
into the Nats.
Yeah, okay.
But I don't know if there was
Anyways,
like a draft
regardless,
associated
that's
with
what
that.
that would
I
be
don't know.
fascinating to me.
Yeah,
Like what
I
actually
agree.
happens. And I know NHL did it recently with the Kraken, right? And you do that
Yes.
live, and you have to
And then
you protect players, and the ones you don't
the
are
Golden
eligible for
Knights
the
too, I
draft.
think.
Were they okay?
Yeah.
That would be something that like. That's why if there were to be expansion, I'd be like really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But
All right, last question.
that's crazy. We're right at the last question.
Yeah, I think we answered like 10 or more
Yeah.
probably. This one's from Lechad Flame, maybe. If you could pick a player who you wish stayed around for 1 or 2 more seasons and would still be impactful for the team while making their career better, who would it be?
I have one, and I mean just for the 1 year after we let him go.
Okay.
If the Yankees were to have brought Didi Gregorius back for 2020, and I strictly mean 2020 because he was good that year and then totally fell off a cliff. Anybody who still says, oh, they should get Didi back, like, check his stats. He's just completely fallen off a cliff. But anyways, with that said, 2020, he had a good year, and we all know what turned out with Gleyber Torres at shortstop, and one of the big issues with this core and what's happened in the playoffs is their lack of left-handed hitters. And I'd say Didi was probably pretty good for the clubhouse as well. You getting Didi back for that 2020 season, which was on a 1-year deal, like, you might have, maybe things would have gone differently. So I would say, him.
I think 2019, it became so evident that Didi's time was up. You know?
Yeah, but that was, and in the way I understood it at the time, because he was coming off Tommy John, he thought maybe, okay, this is just who he is now. But in hindsight, at least that 1 year, because 2021 on, he was terrible. But 2019 to 2020, he went from being like a 700 OPS guy coming off Tommy John to he bounced back with like an 800 OPS.
Yeah.
Playing shortstop for the Phillies, and he was good. Hit like 10 homers, and he ended up getting a
then fell
multi-year
off.
deal after. Yeah, so no, I would not do the second deal. But if you were to bring him back, and once again, I don't blame the Yankees, but just hindsight, revisionist history, may have been a lot better off if we had Didi again for 1 more year.
Yeah, I think also like this question is very hypothetical, like not even like assuming the guy was going to become bad, but mine is Luke Voit. I think that Voit was done like pretty dirty by the Yankees in 2021. Don't get me wrong, Rizzo obviously was an improvement over Voit, but just the energy that Voit provides to the Yankees. Like I loved like the water thing, like he's Stone Cold Steve Austin. I just love the energy, what we saw from him in 2020. He basically carried that offense with DJ LeMahieu. So yeah, I think Luke Voit was a fun Yankee, and I wanted them to re-sign him this year and kind of give him a shot, especially once Rizzo went on the IL. Who knows if he's even coming back at this point? Yeah. But yeah, no, Luke Voit. I love Luke Voit as a Yankee. Yeah,
no, shout out Luke Voit. He was a surprise. You know what though? He's actually, in a way that's not his fault at all, one of the things I think that really went wrong, one of the first few things that went wrong with the Baby Bombers core, was anticipating that you're going to have a Greg Bird, left-handed swinging first baseman playing for the Yankees, which has always kind of been the staple, a left-handed bat playing first base. Greg Bird doesn't work out, and then all of a sudden Luke Voit appears on the scene, is crushing home runs after home run, and like insane. It was amazing for us for a couple of years, and it just seemed unfathomable that they could move off of him. And that was something I even said after 2021, which was pretty crazy, after he had that great year, that the Yankees should move away from Luke Voit. And not because he's a bad player, no, of course not. He was a great hitter. But because the Yankees had carbon copies of each other, right-handed, like I said earlier, right-handed power bats to strike out a lot. And it was just almost the same thing as having Judge and Stanton and Gary Sanchez at the time. Even though Luke Voit was so good, their team was so one-dimensional. And I think that was one of the first things, going from anticipating getting Greg Bird to going to get Luke Voit, who kind of were stuck with because he was just so good. I think that in its own right, like the lineup balance that came from that was kind of an issue, but none of his fault. He was great for us.
I agree.
Yeah. Is that crazy, bro? I don't want to. Let's do one more, dude.
All
let's do one more.
Do you want to pick one? Here, pick one.
It's a nice phone case you got.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Let's see. Were you going up or down?
I was.
Well, here's kind of like a little interesting one. Do you collect Zach RCNO09-PK6WH? Do you collect baseball cards or signed memorabilia? If so, what's the collection like?
So I wouldn't say I collect, but I definitely have like a lot from childhood. But I have a lot of signed memorabilia because when I was like younger, probably until I was like 17, like I used to love going to autograph signings. So I met Judge in 2016, like when he was nothing. Like I have all these autographs. Like I think I have Rivera, Judge, Gary, CC, Hicks, like all these random autographs just because like I used to like meeting the players. But I wouldn't say like I avidly collect memorabilia.
Yeah. I don't really anymore. The only memorabilia I have, shout out to Mike Carbone, who's on Twitter, and he listens, I think. He sent me some A-Rod balls because he knows how big of a fan I am. He also sent me, somebody else sent me a Yogi Berra signed ball, and I feel so bad because it wasn't Mike. Somebody else sent me that. I don't know who
Isn't
did.
it so nice when people send stuff? Like some person, like a couple years ago, they sent me like all these programs they had from like the 80s and 70s Yankees because they had like seasons like, oh, bro.
Shout out to, it's Ed King, right?
Yo, shout out to Ed King. A couple years ago, he sent us these caricatures of Dan and I finally was able to give Dan his today. Look at this. Show it to the camera,
it's
bro.
so detailed too. It has
with the Diet Coke, the Coke Zero.
And it says like, I guess my go-to line, "Hey bro," with the Coke Zero, in Yankee pinch. I mean, that looks like me. So
no,
shout
it looks
out to
great.
Ed King. And so that's dope. But anyways, as for baseball cards, I used to really get into like big time. It was one of those things, like one of the classic childhood memories I had would be like my dad picking me up from middle school, and we'd go to Target, and I would just like rummage quarters out of like the little coin thing in the car, get together like $2, and I would just buy a pack of baseball cards every single day. I had the binder, and I would like label them all by team and shit.
I have a binder.
Those were like the innocent days. Most of my fandom still remains the same, but like as you get like, this is more of like a career now that I love, but it's changed a little bit.
Sure.
That's one of the things I miss about being a young fan, like the desire to just get a pack of baseball cards, and that's how I would learn stats as well. Like I was so obsessed with stats for the longest time.
Baseball Reference then, like
Oh no, and like even if right, we really didn't. So it was like the way you. I mean, I feel like I'm aging myself like crazy, but like the way I became accumulated with stats was two things. It would be baseball cards, and then also I would use MLB The Show, literally 2K probably at that time, to study like, okay, this is what players' stats are, because they would have the live stats, and every time you play a quick game, they would show the stats from last year, and like 2011, I talk about that year, that was how I became acclimated with a lot of the players too, like knowing what they did the prior season from playing like MLB The Show and some shit. So like, and like the baseball cards. So I miss that side of the game. Like the era of learning baseball when you truly just got into it, like you're really feeling like, yo, I fucking love this shit.
I agree.
That feeling, period, with anything, bro. I mean, like there's times like once or twice a year, like I'll get that with Star Wars, right, where you're just really getting into it. Or like when I first watched Elvis, right, when you find something that like you like know, like, yo, I fucking love this shit. That feeling I had with baseball, something I'll never forget, bro. Those first few years.
That's how I feel about this show.
Right? Yeah. I don't feel about it animore, but
okay. Well, that's
yo, this was a fire ass time today, bro. Can you believe we did this, dude?
But it feels great. It feels like a culmination, but also at the same time, it feels like just the beginning.
Culmination.
Very
I like
exciting.
that word. Yeah, no, it does. Episode 100 in the books.
1 year anniversary in the books.
You want to do a 101 on Thursday?
A what?
101. Episode 101, bro. We got to keep going. This ain't the end of the show.
I thought you said one-on-one.
Nah, 101. I may have
Well, it
said
basically
it
is a one-on-one, yeah.
Usually is, yeah. No, it's a 1 on like 7 to 10,000. 2 on 7 to 10,000.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So is that going to do it for this episode, bro?
I think that's going
to do it.
It's
kind of sad. I don't want to say goodbye, but
yeah, we got to say goodbye.
All right, yo. Well, this has been a blast. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much.
Yeah, no. Say that with a little more enthusiasm. We love you guys, bro. We wouldn't be here doing this in person.
Listen, I gassed them up before. I don't want to force anything. They know how I feel about them, and I like you a lot.
No, we love you. I'll throw that word.
No, okay, no, I'll adjust there. I do love you. Socials?
TikTok, Twitter, @UnhingedPatrick, Instagram, @TrueHennessy. And follow Yankees Avenue on TikTok. Shout out to Alana, by the way.
Yo, for real. Shout out to Alana and everybody that's been along the way with us. Really just Alana, I guess.
Yeah, really just Alana.
Socials, Dan on Rourke on Twitter. I might start tweeting again at some point. Come the off season.
Yeah, maybe because
I'm tapped out for the rest of this year.
Maybe because there's ad revenue on Twitter now.
But then you got to get verified. You got to do the Twitter X, which I think you
I have it, yeah. I have it.
Dan on Rourke on Twitter, Dan on Rourke on Instagram. Yankees Avenue on Instagram, Yankees Avenue here on YouTube as well, home of the Yankees Avenue Show. That'll do it, bro.
That'll do it. That was weird.
Down there,
no, that was weird. Yeah, let's go.
All right, love you all. See you guys next time.
Love you guys. Bye.
Let's go, Yankees.
Her body's gold like September. She burns through the night like an ember. And all those things we try forgetting, I remember. But we say we all fine, we all fine.